Hey, it's your girlfriend Martini here, and it has been forever since I've been out here on these YouTube streets. But I wanted to touch base tonight because it's a really late night here in Vegas, and I had a couple of thoughts that I wanted to share with you ladies. Now, I know I've been MIA for a while on YouTube, but I'm sure a lot of you have kept up with me on Facebook and some of my happenings. But I got a little bit inspired, and also had a challenge for me to start posting here on this YouTube channel here. So here I am, right? But there's been quite a bit of transformation that I've been seeing with me, as well as a lot of my ladies who I coach one-on-one. And I wanted to share some things with you. And this is probably the direction in which I am going to move with this channel moving forward, because I believe that it is very important. And I also believe, as part of the feminine collective, that's going on, and this big shift that's changing, we need women who are out here making change and are willing to share what we know, what we're experiencing, share our truth, share our stories, in order for us to rise, as a collective and as a community all together, right? So today, I want to talk to you ladies a little bit about the unspoken word that a lot of us hardworking women, who are either working multiple jobs, going up the corporate ladder, or just trying to survive as an independent woman. This is a word that we, as independent women, hardly ever want to admit, and that we kind of sweep under the rug, but yet we experience it from time to time, if not just about every day. All right. So many of us ladies, who, have big dreams, have ambitions, or work for someone else, or are working towards a vision, we all know the feeling of being undervalued, right? Underappreciated. And worst of all, working for pennies at the end of the day. And there are a lot of women, kind of like myself, who have, over the years, have moved up the corporate ladder and have had some pretty high demands, and still, at the end of the day, reaching higher accolades, or reaching different positions, or reaching different levels up the ladder. You know, you would think that a lot of us would feel, that we've made it, that we've arrived, and there's a certain like look and a certain feel that comes with that. But I find that a lot of us are completely tapped out, with sometimes, or most times, nothing to show for it but a patch of gray hair, premature wrinkles, heightened anxiety, and random breakdowns every now and again, wondering what the hell is life really about, or what the hell really happened to me, and is this what life is all about? And the word that I want to talk to you ladies about today is burnout. Burnout. You know that feeling that you get when you really are just completely tapped out, and you really just can't take anymore. You're completely depleted, drained of all energy, and you feel like you've got nothing left. But because you have to survive, because you have to maintain independence, because you have goals, or because you have, basic survival things, you know, burnout happens, at the end of the day. So I want to talk to you ladies about some of the things that you can start to implement, today, or, within this week, that's going to support you in taking simple steps that I've personally been using and personally been implementing, to start clearing up, some of that burnout. And I really want you ladies to take this to heart, because a lot of these things are tips that I learned the hard way, as well as, tips that I really wish some of my wise women, or some of the more senior women, or some of the women who have taken me under their wing, really would have showed me earlier. So I'm going to tell you these things, and I know that it's going to help you. So hopefully, if you know me well enough, you got your pens, you got your papers, and you are out and ready to go for this. Okay. So before we get started, and you may be listening to this as you go get your notebook and your pen, but before we get started, I want you ladies to know that I am back in full swing, with my coaching and my mentorship. So I've opened up a brand new program, for you ladies, which is called the Divine Reset. So if you are wanting to work with me, and you are a lady who is overworked, undercompensated, and you have big dreams, and you have big goals, and you have the skill set, you have, some of your habits in place, but there is something about your life and your lifestyle habits that are just not getting you to where it is that you want to go. We're going to go through a total walkthrough. We are going to go through a total inventory, and we are going to go through a total transformation in each area of your life so you can start to become the woman you want to be and also start to live the life that you have been praying for. So, if you're ready to go ahead and connect with me now that my slots are open and now that I've opened up the Divine Reset, go ahead and click the link below and book a one-on-one strategy call. And I can't wait to connect with you to see how I can support you on your journey. Okay, so let's get started when it comes to some of the simple steps that you can use to implement to start to get yourself out of burnout. Okay. So the first thing that I am seeing, most often from women who are experiencing burnout or shall I say, is that you're in survival mode. Okay. So a lot of these ladies who are living, with burnout are often living paycheck to paycheck just to pay the bills. The next set of ladies that I am seeing are, women who are overworking, and they are working hard to kind of reach certain accolades or reach certain heights in their career. And I have found that a lot of these women are starting to admit to themselves, and definitely when they're coaching with me, that they feel like they are working so hard because they have something to prove. So a lot of ladies are actually overcompensating for, and working themselves damn near to death, trying to reach approval or trying to reach a certain level of recognition for their work. Okay. So the first thing that I want you ladies to tackle your issues with when it comes to burnout and when it comes to, working yourself to the bone and all that is I really want you to ladies to really take a look at, and this is going to hurt. This is really going to hurt. Is tackling issues with having a low self-value. I know that hurt, ladies. I know it hurt. I really want you ladies to take a look at the way in which or the level in which you value yourself or not. So let's think about it, sis. If you really valued yourself and if you really saw yourself at a higher level, you would require higher pay, better compensation. So basically raising your rates and also adding tax to that, right? With interest, right? But it also, I would say, is that when you have a low self-value or you're wanting or the awareness is there and you need to raise it, right? You wouldn't be working for pennies. You would set better boundaries. You would set a work schedule. You would set what works for you and what wouldn't work for you. And you would also make it clear what you're going to do, what you're not going to do. And you would set boundaries around that. So I want you to ladies to know that although you're working hard, I really want you to take a look at what are you working for and really get honest with yourself about, the way in which you work and the spirit in which you work. What does that have to do or how does that reflect the way that you see and value yourself? And I will say that when we are working for pennies and when we are overcompensated and compensating and we are overworking ourselves to the bone, this is truly a reflection of low self-worth and low self-value. And I'm only saying this to you, sis, because I love you and I've been there. And now, because it's a late night and I got inspired to do this video, I'm not going to really share all of where my story is, or where my story was. But let me tell you something, sis. I went from making $30,000 a year to out of nowhere hitting $1 million worth of sales, as well as hitting my first six-figure commission in a very short amount of time by doing the steps and implementing the steps that I am going to show you today. So if you are feeling that, ooh, it hurts that you're looking at, maybe I do have a low self-value issue or a low self-worth issue, I want you ladies to know that that can be completely transformed. But the first thing that I'm going to tell you, what I tell all of my clients to do is number one, so write this down, babe. Number one is to get in the mirror. Get in the mirror. Now, one of the first things that I do with a lot of actually a lot of my clients through a lot of the programs that I do, um, mainly in what was it, the Be Irresistible course, as well as some of my one-on-one coaching, is that I teach you how to do a certain aspect of mirror work. And so for the sake of this video, I'm just going to keep it really short. And mirror work is really just taking a look at yourself and seeing your reality and being raw, honest, and truthful with who you are, where you are, and what's going on in your life, right? So in for the sake of this, in taking a look at your self-worth and your self-value, sometimes we forget who we are. Sometimes we forget what we've accomplished. Sometimes we forget what we've been through. Sometimes we really just get into so much of the hamster wheel of life that we honestly forget the woman that we are and what we're made of. So when I say get in the mirror for the sake of this video, I really want you to take a look at your accolades. And your accolades are basically the accomplishments that you have made. So take a look at everything that you have accomplished and things that you have some of the milestones that you've had in your life. There are some times that we get into this work mode, right? And sometimes we're just beaten down by life, or life has hit us hard, or we get into survival mode, that we forget that we are badasses at the end of the day. Right. So what I want you to ladies to do is to find some time, within your day or your night or whatever, to get in the mirror and take your notebook and take your pen. And I want you to write down everything that you have accomplished in your life. And it's okay to take a look at, you know, there are some women who feel like they have not accomplished anything in life. So there's really no accolades. But I will say, if you have come to this video and if you have been attracted to me, you've been through some shit and you've overcome some shit. And if you are watching this video, you've been attracted to me for a reason. And it's because you've been there, you've done that, and you're ready to move forward. And the fact that you're here shows that you've overcome something. So if you don't feel that you've necessarily accomplished much in life, I really want you to make a list of everything that you have overcome. And what I want you to do is post that somewhere where you will see it. If you want to make copies of it, that's fine. But I really want you to really take a look at what your accomplishments are, what you have overcome. And I really want you to reflect on that, because let me tell you something. There's one thing that I can say about myself is when I go back and if ever I lose track of what's been going on, or if I lose track of my, you know, self-esteem, or I get bogged down with life, I get back into that mirror and I really take a look at, I am a badass and this is why. So I want you ladies to start to do that. And what happens when you do that is that that builds up your self-esteem, and that also puts out into the atmosphere that you are confident, that you are an overcomer, and that you have accomplished much. And what it's going to do is attract more reasons for you to feel successful, be successful, look successful, or whatnot. And so, what that will do is to help to raise some of the way that you feel about yourself, AKA your self worth and your self value. The next thing that I want you to take a look at is step number 2. And this is find your muse. Okay. Find your muse, which is actually, I think it's a lot of fun for me because I like to play. So, a lot of the times when we're burned out, right, we lack inspiration. We lack sometimes the will to keep going and to keep moving, and we lose the momentum. And when we take a look sometimes too about the vibration of people who were around, or if we're always in work mode and always in the hustle and the fight of life, a lot of the times we lose that spirit of inspiration. So what I would say is that when we lose that spirit of inspiration, our energy just goes down and it just depletes. So what I would definitely say is to take a look at some of the, I would say women for sure, but some of the people in your life who truly inspire you, who truly motivate you, who have truly made a difference in your life, whether they are living or no longer here, or it could be a certain entity like a goddess. or an orisha of some sort, right? But I really want you ladies to take a look at a figure of some sort that really inspires you to dream bigger, go bigger, and take inspired action. And I want you to write down a lot of the qualities and the attributes, of this being that has inspired you, right? And so, also, what I want you to do is take a look at this list. I actually have pictures of a lot of, the people who have inspired me. But one thing that I take away is a very magical element to things. And y'all know I love my magic, right? Is to take some of the qualities, attributes, or things that I admire about these people and see how I can start to embody that in my life, right? So, for example, some of my muses, first and foremost, always is going to be Josephine Baker. Love, love, love that woman. Like, she was my total inspiration for travel, for dreaming bigger, for wanting to be bigger and to travel the world and to really see myself as an international girlfriend. She was part of the story of how my business got started, right? She was a very free-spirited woman who had a heart to do right, amongst the Afro-American community here, and she wanted to teach brotherhood, and she's wound up doing some amazing things. So look this woman up, because at 8 years old, watching this woman's story in a homeless shelter, she really inspired me to really just be bigger, right? The next woman, who I would say who has always been a muse for me, is Harriet Tubman, and she always exemplifies leadership for me. The badassery to keep going, the audacity to fight for your own freedom, and also not for that, but just to really take people with me on the journey, right? And then last but not least, my great grandma Ollie, who lived to see 101, and she teaches me and is always an inspiration for me about longevity, and also being, a young Black woman growing up in the South of the US, right? She had endured so much and yet she still persevered, right? So we got inspiration, leadership, perseverance. So I take these things that I love about these women, and what I do is really take a look at how can I start to draw strength and to draw some of the characteristics into me, and how can I start to embody some of those things, some of those qualities and attributes about those ladies, right? So for you, I would say take some people or entities or whatever who truly inspire you. Find your muse and start to draw inspiration and start to embody some of those characteristics that you enjoy. And basically, embodying is, if you want to be, more of an inspiring woman, take a look at someone who inspires you. What is it about them that inspires you? And go do and try to be, or try to mimic some of those qualities and bring that into your own life, right? Now, also, what I would say, and this kind of ties into number three. So I'm just going to give you number three. And number three is basically take inventory of everything and everyone in your life. Okay. So with this, I would say to, you know, coming from your muse and then coming into taking inventory of your life, your environment and who you're around, who you surround yourself with, and the environment in which you surround yourself with can contribute, to a lot of these lifestyle habits that you are having that could possibly be leading you into burnout, right? So if you are around people who are uninspiring, if you are around people who are broke, if you are in constant environments that represent lack, poverty, scarcity, violence, complacency, whatever, chances are that is not the environment that is going to support you in getting rid of burnout. Your environments and the people you're around are probably burning you out, in addition to the job that you're probably working, right? So what I'm wanting you ladies to do is to really take a look at, with brutal honesty, with brutal honesty, take inventory of your life and take a look at everything that could be burning you out. Is it a broken down car or a car you're not fixing? Is it health issues? Is it your diet? Is it drinking? Is it smoking? Is it, arguing with the baby daddy? Who knows, But really take inventory of what is contributing to your burnout. And what I would say, you don't always have to do a complete sweep or a complete overhaul. It could be something as simple as taking small steps, small strides, tiny atomic habits, little by little over time. So just tackle the first thing. But the very first thing that you really need to be doing is taking inventory. Okay. So those are the three things that I have right now, ladies, in my late night inspiration here. So let me run it back to you. So the first thing that you're going to want to take a look at if you are a woman who is experiencing burnout is number one, to get in the mirror, take a look at yourself honestly and beautifully and acknowledge who you are, where you've come from, your accomplishments and the things that you have overcome. And then the next thing is to find your muse, find an entity that inspires you to dream bigger, go bigger, take inspired action. And that will definitely invigorate you. And the third thing, of course, is to take inventory of everything in your life. Make a list of every single thing that is contributing to your burnout and start to make adjustments accordingly. Okay? So, ladies, I hope that this brought you some sort of value. I know it definitely did with me, and I was hoping that somebody would have told me these things, way early, because I would have been, a lot better off in the game, but hopefully this is bringing value to you. And if you are a woman who is wanting to take a closer look into some of these principles that I taught you today, and if you are a woman who is wanting to make severe changes in your life and you want to fast track it, I want you to go ahead and click the link below and book a strategy call with me and let me see how I can support you step by step through the divine reset to do a total transformation in your life, sis, because I am here to help you get your life together. So I normally work with women who are, professional women or women who are really aspiring for more, who are hard workers, who are driven, who have big goals, have big dreams, but somehow, some way, life just keeps knocking you down or life keeps knocking you back, whether it be financially or just setbacks or whatever. I work with women, across the globe, and we get phenomenal results. So don't let this be, the last time that I see you or you see me or whatnot. And don't let this opportunity slip you by because I'm only offering just a couple of slots for the divine reset. So if you are a woman who is wanting to make significant change in your life, go ahead, click the link below, book your strategy call, and let's connect. All right, my love. So I hope you are having an amazing morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are in the world. Stay connected. If you are new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and we can have more talk like this. It is really my passion to help women like you, to move forward because at this point, once you hit subscribe or you've come across me, we go together now. So, life is always better with girlfriends. So I can't wait to see you in the next video and bye for now.